All right, so I think this is a safe time to say that the ship is officially sinking for the once great studio that was Bungie. They just lost their director for Marathon. Marathon's a game that they're making that they made back in 1994 that looked like Doom. Um, they're making it, stepping away from the Destiny a little bit, and their director of Marathon just got replaced with the director of Valorant. So, yeah, Bungie is. I don't even know who they have there who was in the Halo days. I just think they're just a completely different studio now. But from this article I just read here, it seems like um, Marathon, if that does not do well, it might officially close the door of Bungie. It's what it sounds like. They had other games in the pipeline, but a lot of them got canceled when Sony was canceling a lot of their live service games because turns out Sony going pure live service with their first party games was a bad idea, and they're backtracking now, and that is why I think his name's Jim Ryan, the head of PlayStation, is retiring. But that's a different topic for another day. So yeah, Bungie. Listen, you can't sell one game, Destiny 2, in 2017 and then not release a game for the next, oh geez, 7 years? It's been almost 7 years since a game release, and all you've done is what? Release DLCs for Destiny 2? You cannot be making that much money versus a full-on game release. I don't know, I could be wrong, but when people are spending money on microtransactions and whatnot, normally it's on things like Valorant, Fortnite, those big popular games. I don't know many people who are like, yo, I'm playing Destiny 2. Do not know many people. So yeah, I'm going to get into this article here and give you my take on it. But yeah, if Marathon does not sell well, I think it's done for Bungie. Sony's not helping them, even though they own them. I think that selling to Sony was proof that Bungie's suffering. So they're like, Sony, please buy us. And I think a lot of the heads at Bungie got a sweetheart deal and then booked it out of there after the selling. And now Sony's just like, we can't help you right now. We're suffering. And Sony's basically told them, like, you're on your own right now. So let's get into this article here. Yeah, so the director leaves amidst leadership shakeup, fears of layoffs. So let's see. Yep, from Valorant game director Joe Ziegler is replacing Christopher Barrett. So amid ongoing anxiety within Bungie following layoffs last year, so yeah, if you didn't know, they already had layoffs, and now they're worried that there might be more. The studio is now preparing for another shakeup, this time on Marathon, its upcoming service game intended as its next step beyond Destiny. Ooh, service game. Not good, not a good start. According to multiple sources familiar with the matter, Bungie is in the midst of shifting around its creative leadership on Marathon, including removing longtime Bungie designer Christopher Barrett from the game director role. IGN learned he is being replaced by former Valorant game director Joe Ziegler, who left Riot Games for Bungie in 2022. I mean, if they're replacing him, that must mean the game isn't looking too good. I don't know. IGN has reached out to Bungie for comment on whether or not Barrett will remain with the company. Bungie has not yet responded to IGN's request for comment, but shortly after we reached out, Ziegler confirmed his appointment as game director on X. For the last 9 months, I've been working on Marathon as the game director, he wrote. We're still baking, but I'm excited to share with you more info on the game as we get closer and closer to bringing it to all of you. And 1.2 likes, 1.2K likes. Wow. Very popular tweet right there. This game is going to most likely sell a lot. Just kidding. The number of likes that a director of a studio has will not determine how much it sells. Maybe. While this is going on, sources tell IGN that Bungie is pouring resources into getting Marathon out the door. The game's direction has shifted somewhat under Ziegler's new leadership. That's not good. Shifting game direction in the middle of development, never good. One source says, including moving away from custom player characters in favor of a selectable cast of heroes. So another hero shooter instead of customizing your own character. Interesting, because we need more of those. While upcoming Destiny 2 expansion, the final shape is also being prioritized. Well, they should, because everyone's talking about it these days. There are growing fears and rumors that layoffs will immediately follow its release. Yeah, because it's going to release, no one's going to download this DLC, and then there will be layoffs. I apologize to you who are Destiny fans. I'm sorry, but um I'm just not a Destiny fan. I bought it midnight launch Destiny 1 in 2014, and I've been bitter ever since. If you haven't already if you couldn't already tell. So, one person with knowledge of budgets at Bungie told me that nothing adds up and something will need to happen to curb costs unless the final shape does so well to cover the gap and people can move to Marathon. So, yeah, they're looking at the numbers and they're in the negatives and they're like, this DLC needs to sell gangbusters or else we're losing people. The ship will be sinking. Um, I don't know. I mean, if it's a fun game, yeah. Like if this just is good and fun, it can be. I kind of hope it is. I don't want Bungie. I mean, I don't want to say. I mean, for the people, I don't want Bungie to go under. But not thinking of the people, I think the studio after they left Halo, it just has been shit. So when Sony acquired Bungie, the studio brought with it a number of other incubation projects, including a MOBA-like game codenamed Gummy Bears. Why are you making a MOBA? Again, just following trends, and a new IP known as Matter. According to sources, Matter was canceled back in 2020 because no one wants to take risks on new IP. But the team continued working on a similar project with slightly different direction until that too was canceled in late 2020. So let's cancel this game, but continue working on a project that's just slightly different, and then cancel that game too. Good source of resources. Gummy Bears, meanwhile, is currently in a holding pattern due to the ongoing So that game stopped production. Everything is canceled or paused besides Marathon. They are banking everything on this game. Yeah, when you haven't released a game since 2017, this is what happens. So within the company, and when you fucked up, apparently, because I don't play Destiny 2, I guess the online service to Destiny 2 is shit. That's from what I heard from the one person I know who plays it. Within the company, there is a growing expectation that senior company leadership will leave in droves in the summer of 2026 when the final payouts from Sony's acquisition of the company take effect. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like, this deal they had with Sony is probably not for the longevity of the studio. It's for the heads to get a sweetheart deal and then bounce out of there. With this in mind, there is a strong push to get Marathon out the door before then and let whoever takes the reins after that, be it Sony or Bungie, worry about how it's sustained. 2026, that is almost 10 years. You can't get it out the door by 2026 maybe. That will be almost 10 years since your last game. What have you been doing? DLCs and canceled games, wasting time and resources into canceled games. A marathon and a sprint. Well, looks like, see what they did there. Looks like they're just doing a sprint and they're not looking at the marathon right now. No pun intended. Bungie has found itself rocked by a number of major shakeups in recent years that have tanked morale at the Destiny studio and left its future uncertain. Sony officially acquired the studio mid-2022 with the promise it would largely retain a semblance of freedom as an independent subsidiary. Yeah, that's how you say it. While sources say that's largely remained true, Bungie has struggled to meet key financial targets. Destiny 2 significantly underperformed last year. Yeah, so Sony bought them, said you'll be able to do what you want. Bungie said cool. Destiny 2 will make bank. And then they're like, oh, hey, by the way, Destiny 2 hasn't made bank. Sorry, we suck. And Sony's like, what the fuck? In October, Bungie laid off roughly 100 of its then 1,200 employees amid greater cost-cutting measures that saw Marathon delayed to 2025 and employee benefits slashed. So the employees who did stay got their benefits slashed? Damn. Ugh. Further damaging the mood internally. Notably, multiple sources at the time and since have shared that Sony has largely left the studio to sort out its own troubles and was not responsible for the layoffs, with CEO Pete Parsons taking responsibility. So Sony's like, we didn't lay off anyone. You guys are dealing with your own troubles. Yeah, this right here. Sony's like, no, you handle your own troubles, or you have our own troubles right now. So, however, sources at the time also told IGN that when leaders were asked if they had considered taking pay cuts prior to making layoff decisions, one responded that Bungie was not that type of company. Internally, the sentiment is growing that the final shape needs to succeed for Bungie to avoid further internal turmoil. That's a tongue twister. Or I just can't read because I might be a little bit slow. So yeah, right there it says it all. They need this game to succeed or they're gonna be in a load of trouble. And look right here, Destiny 2, September 6th, 2017. Haven't released a new game since. Pathetic. That just ridiculous. Like, how can you even with how much money these games like get dumped into these games, you need to have a plan and you need to deliver. Too many games get canceled and it's like you can't just be wasting money like that. But yeah, when it says Bungie was so sources told IGN that when leaders were asked if they were yeah, like I mean, if I'm a listen, I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna judge the leaders here who are like, no, I'm not taking pay cuts because they're most likely not making. I think they won't be making millions of dollars a year anyway. But even if they were, like, are you gonna take a pay cut because the new hire graphic designer straight out of college, uh, to keep them? No, I've been at Bungie for the last 10 years. I'm keeping my money. Like, I'm not gonna hate on them. I mean, it's just normal human behavior, but also these higher ups can probably see what the future looks like and it's like I can give up my money to keep people working for 4 more months but they're going to still need to be let go anyway. So I don't know, that's a tough decision. I'm not going to judge them for not taking less money. Feel free to dislike my comment. That's just how I feel. Dislike my comment, dislike my video, that's what I meant. So yeah, Bungie, I mean, they are blowing up, I think, right now and saying that they need this game to release and do well, or else there's going to be turmoil. Further turmoil says a lot. And also saying that if this DLC that's about to come out soon doesn't do very well, it's going to be bad too. And they've been gifted so many things. Destiny 1 and 2 did so well. And then they had DLCs that did so well. I had the Taken King custom PS4 and yeah, I know I was pissed after 2014 when it came out, but then a couple years later, I got a PlayStation, I got that bundle, and I mean, I traded in the game right away. Got brand new, got $60. It was, I don't know why GameStop did that, but yeah, I just got it because the console looked cool. But they've been so lucky to have Destiny making the money it has, and just horrible management. You just root. There should already be a new game out the door, and you should be financially well. Just, I don't know. They should have just stayed with Halo. They should have just stayed with Halo. All right, well, that's all I have for you guys. Feel free to like, comment, dislike, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.